You may not be able to hear or see me, but you still gonna get this video. So I went through the motions today. The motions being getting to my kid's other grandmother's house, getting her to take me to the next, it's the next town over, but it seems like so far away because the dynamics are so distinct. Like, it's the country. But anyway, and that was an issue. I had called her. She said she could take me at 10. Mind you, last night she turned that into a whole shit. I had called her. I was like, what's up? Can you take me? And she was like, take you out. And I was like, I have to get to the school because I have to, give them a copy of my child's birth certificate and sign an affidavit, which, anyway. And she was like, because Friday I'm like, I'm not talking about Friday. I said tomorrow. Well, what time do you need? I'm like, what time can you take me? At what time? I'm like, what time can you take me? Like, we went back and forth with that same question. I don't know how long, because anyway. She finally set it on 10 o'clock, okay? I'm like, all right, I'll see you at 10. Woke up this morning, got myself together. I didn't call her because she lives near downtown. I didn't call her until I got downtown on the bus. And this is like 8:45-ish. Mind you, we're supposed to be the next town over at 10. And it takes 40 minutes or so to get to the next town over. So it's 8:45, she's ignoring me. I was like, all right, bitch, I'm knocking on your door like I'm the police today. That's the oven being preheated because I'm hungry. So after telling her, after calling her, having her ignore me, and then I need to beg her. And then, and telling her, after calling her, have her ignore me, I pull up and I call when I'm like within a few feet of the house. Call her. This is when she finally answers, and then I'm finally knocking on the door. By this time, while I'm on the phone with her, I'm like, hey, are you home? Yeah, I'm home. So she opens the door. I was like, okay, I'm ready. And she starts cleaning, get something out of the car. I get in the car, and then she goes in the house for something. I'm waiting on her. Finally comes out. She's the type of person, one, she'll start a conversation, but you don't necessarily have to participate in it. Like, you can't get a word in edgewise with her, at least when she talks to me. I wasn't having it that day because, one, I don't like her. Like, I learned the hard and fucked up way that I don't like her daughter, or her sorry ass son. Mind you, I got kids by her sorry ass son. So I'm ignoring her. And we get there after pumping some gas. We get there and I told her she could leave. Oh. So where my daughter is, my kids are in 2 separate households and I'm somewhere else. I'm here. So my daughter has a 3-hour delay today. So we get there at 10 and they tell us, okay, well, y'all have to come back at 11:30 because we're not letting anyone in until 11:30. There aren't many administrators here. And we're like, okay. So I tell her grandmother, my daughter's grandmother, that she can leave. And, well, I also tell her, hey, can you drop this off to my son? It was his right AirPod. And finally, go home. Well, no, don't go home, but get to my cousin's, and we wait there for that hour and a half until it's time to go back. To get this affidavit signed, there was no option of like, we're just cohabitating together. This person is falling on hard times. It's a whole bunch of stuff like the child is being abused. The mother neglected the child. The best option we had, the closest things to being displaced was a natural disaster. Like, what the fuck? There's no option of you're displaced and you're living with a family member. It's all this screwed up shit about abusing your children, neglecting your children, abandoning your children. The only justifiable and least abrasive thing was a natural disaster destroyed the home. So that's what we both chose. She had to sign an affidavit for being the guardian. I had to sign the affidavit for being a separate one, for being the parent. And then I had to get a copy, give them my child's birth certificate so they could make a copy. Mind you, my daughter couldn't even start school today. She hasn't been in school in a month. She couldn't start school today because it has to be approved. The affidavit has to be approved. So hopefully it's just someone notarizes the document, because I don't understand why they don't have a notary at the school. So whoever does notarize the document, I hope it's no extra further steps where they have to have CPS come and investigate and do shit like that, because it's like, come on, I'm trying to get my goddamn child in school. We're in a fucked up situation. Just, this shit is pissing me off, as you can see. Because why? When I was growing up, and my brother and I, we didn't live with my mom. All it was is just like, hey, my kids are living with my sister right now. She's helping me take care of them. This is her address. That was it. Literally, that was all. But all these extra steps to potentially get a court involved and shit, why? I don't understand it. And let me keep my mouth shut, at least for now. Don't want to talk politics too much. Let me get this food started, because I'm starving, obviously. This is about the 5th or 6th Mandarin I've eaten. So I don't remember exactly where I left off, but let's just say I made it back to my living quarters. So I'm back to my living quarters, and I text my son to check to see if his grandmother had dropped off his AirPod. He was like, no. I called her, to say, hey, were you still going to drop it off today? Or, was it going to be another day? I need to, let my son know something. But she ignored me again. So I sent her a text message. I was like, please send my son, please drop off my son's AirPod ASAP. He keeps asking me about it. Because I have to act like I know the people that I'm dealing with. Because when I'm, considerate, permissible, what have you, with her, and sometimes other people, but I'm talking about her, they mistreat that. They take it for granted. But of course, she took that shit personally. Like if I had said, hey, when will you be able to drop off my son's AirPod, or are you going to drop it off today or another day? Had I asked something like that, being considerate of her time, she would have ignored me. The bitch always ignores me. But I said it like that because it's like, nah, stop giving this much the benefit of the doubt. She always fucking playing with you. Even before, when she, had her daughter living in your house rent free, because apparently you owe it to her ass and she don't ever want to do shit for you. Anyways, bringing up bullshit. Anyway. This is when this mutt calls me back. This woman. I don't really have anything nice to say about her, okay? But anyway, this is when she decides to call me back. And for what reason? I don't know. I guess to see if I had an attitude. But she was like, hello? I was like, hi. She was like, I'm going. I'm dropping it off. I was like, okay, thank you. Click. Like, girl, fuck you. And your shitty ass attitude. Anyway, got her out the fucking way and blocked her. I blocked her after that. If I ever need her for anything else, I'm just going to suffer. I decided I'm just going to suffer because I'm really, 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 really tired of her. Like, my kids are older teenagers. I mean, both of them are working age and driver's license age, okay? Like, they're both, one's going to graduate next year and then the other the year after that. Like, child, I ain't got to deal with you no more at all. But today, I did a lot more socializing with people than I wanted to because it's my day off and I tend to not want to socialize much, if at all, on my day off because that's my job. I'm working around people all day, and I mean hundreds and hundreds of people, as well as my coworkers, and it's exhausting because it's not just the people aspect, but it's the labor aspect. Like, I'm moving my body a mile a minute, and I'm getting too old for this shit. That's all that is. That's all the fuck that is. And it's really wearing me down. And even though there's still money in it, money isn't paying the bills like it used to. Like, the fuck? Like, I'm making more money than I did when I was a teenager. But when I was a teenager, 16, 17 years old, I was able to take care of all of my mom's bills. I can barely afford just a room in someone's fucking apartment. Like, I was calculating this shit today. Like, okay, I gotta pay the storage bill. I have to send grocery money to 2 other households, as well as try to buy myself some groceries. It's a lot. If I make what I think I'm going to make on my check, that shit gonna be ate up. Like, I'm going to have zero. I probably won't even be able to get to work on time. Anyways, I just had to come in, vent, and talk my shit. Because life ain't easy.